Hi there, I'm Rebecca and a really warm welcome back to my channel, PumpkinBecki. In this week's video we're going to have a little look at some starter trees I bought last year from Corin Tomlinson. Let's get started. There is a lot to do. Repotting season is in full flow, and last year I bought these two trees from Corin Tomlinson. I've got a European Larch, which is just breaking bud now. I've already got Japanese Larch in my collection. This is European. One of my viewers recommended that I got one, so I did. And then this little tree is a Blackthorn. I love Blackthorn. They are one of the first blossoms to come out in spring, and the hedgerows are currently alive with them. So yeah, I wanted to add one to my collection. Starter tree, very peculiar. You know, I'm just letting the top run so that we get some thickening happening in the trunk. There is a secondary trunk happening in the bottom of the pot here. Don't know whether I think that is also a Blackthorn or whether it's just a little hitchhiker. It could be. So what I want to do is unpot these. They are in very organic soil. Unpot them, have a look at the roots, see if there's anything I can do, and then get them into some Akadama, pumice and lava. We'll start with the Blackthorn, I think. Not for any particular reason, just that it was in my hand still. I didn't do anything to these when they arrived. I just put them straight out into the garden and let them carry on growing for a year. So I've no idea where the root plane is. We're on a voyage of discovery. The buds are starting to break though, so it's a perfect time to do this. I'd love to know what you are. I wonder if you're just a goat willow or something. Well, the pot's certainly full of roots, so that's nice. And I can see lots of live tips. Let's see if I can remove this little one. I don't think it's attached. In other words, I don't think it's a twin trunk. It looks so very different to all the growth on the Blackthorn. The sort of bright green and then orangey bark makes me think it's something different. We'll see. Oh, we've got a vine weevil. And there is a great reason for getting these little trees out of this very organic soil. Nasty little blighter, creamy white with a brown head. They devour roots, and usually once you've found one, there will be more. Oh, and as I say that, there is another one. Right, we're going to squish it. So we're going to have to give this a really thorough decomposting, because yeah, they could be hiding anywhere. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's sitting in like a layer. Yeah, I can see another vine weevil. Okay, what are you? Yeah, absolutely no idea what that is. No more vine weevil in there though, so that's good. When I'm using nursery pots, I like to use this screen door mesh that I bought a big sheet of for not very much money at all. And it's really useful because I can get it to cover all those enormous holes straight away in one hit. And we will see what that becomes. Let's continue on. Haven't found the roots quite yet, not the top of them, so I'll keep going. Corin does a nice little selection of starter trees, well worth a look. A nice inexpensive way to get going without having to resort to buying packs of seeds, which rarely ever come true. He's done all that work for you. A nice healthy sapling there. That's where we were in the pot, and if we start to look down here, actually that trunk's getting quite nice and thick, so that's good. So what I'd like to do is come down to some of this slightly thicker trunk. So I'm going to remove some of these upper roots. But I also want to make sure that I don't hit a point where we then get inverse taper. I think we're okay at the moment. Maybe. So that would be the point, probably. Actually, do you know, we could take this right down to this second tier of roots, because that trunk is staying nice and thick. I can't see any trace of an inverse taper. Okay. I'm not going to be as gung-ho about root pruning as I was last year. I got a little bit overexcited last year and I did lose a couple of trees. Yella very kindly reminded me that I don't have to do everything in one sitting. I'd gone from being really afraid of doing root work to just absolutely hammer and tongs, and yes, the trees did not forgive me. There is a root which is doubling back on itself and going right under the tree. It's got quite a lot of nice feeder roots on it, but I think I could probably prune it back to where it is branching here and just try and lessen that wrap round underneath. Last year I probably would have removed the whole root, so yes. I will take this one which is growing vertically. And then I will leave that at that, I think. And what I've gained by taking down all those roots is actually quite a nice bit of movement in the lower trunk. So it's always worth not just taking for granted that that's the root plane where you see the first roots coming in, but actually continue cleaning, see what else there is. I'm not losing anything to inverse taper, and I'm getting quite a nice characterful trunk. Very nice indeed. I'll pop it into a round pot. Got some screen mesh in the bottom. I've just popped a piece of wire up through one of the holes, and I will settle the tree on there, spread the roots around, and then I can backfill. First, I'm just going to apply that wire. Let's not forget to put its label back in so I don't forget what it is. And then we'll go through the same process with my European Larch. Now you can see I have put some wire on this to try and get some bends into the trunk, but I still don't know what is inside that pot, so who knows. I can't actually remember when I wired this, so I don't know whether this is even going to hold any sort of shape. It might just bounce back, but let's see. Okay. Lots of lovely roots on this one too, and nice live tips, so that's great. Let's hope we haven't got any vine weevil in this one. Top's really crumbly on this, like there's no root at all up here, and sure enough I'm not seeing any. Ooh, could that be why? A vine weevil. Ooh, this is so organic-y. Okay, the first root we've got is quite high compared to the others. There's a lot of fruit on that side, and possibly the remains of the taproot. I've not got the increasing diameter of trunk like I had with the blackthorn. If I remove that, do I gain very much? But it is way above the rest of the root plane, so I will remove it. So hopefully you can see there that I've got the main, what was the taproot, running down into the soil. That has a cluster of roots on it. I've got this clump up here on the other side, just a little bit higher, and then another clump here. I don't think I want to remove any more than I have today. Oh, I tell you what I can do. I've got a stacked root here, so we've got the what was the taproot coming down, and then right above it is another one. Now that one above has got next to nothing on it, so I will, just for the sake of decluttering, prune off that upper one. Okay. Remove a little bit of length off the others to encourage them to grow and branch, but I think for the moment, until these other ones have gathered enough energy to expand, I'm going to leave this piece on because that has got some more nice feeder roots on it. I will take the tip off to stop it just going straight down. Yeah, okay. But hopefully again you can see there was my soil surface and I'd applied wire up above that, but actually I've got another 5-6 centimetres of trunk to work with now, which hasn't had any movement put into it. So I could do that now. I've made a hook in the bottom of my wire, and I'm just going to kind of loop it round this root, I think, just to anchor it on to something before I then start wrapping around the tree. So then I can start putting some movement into this trunk, and because this has been in quite wet soil, it's really full of water, so it's going to let me move it quite a lot before it starts to get upset with me. To try and avoid doing a corkscrew, That's quite fun. And it's important that you put enough movement in, because as the tree grows and it thickens, that movement will naturally soften, and what you thought looked a bit over the top when you first did it suddenly looks a bit Okay, let's get you into some soil. So we've got more screen door mesh in the bottom of the pot, a wire coming up to secure the tree to. Just going to make sure all the roots are nicely spread round. Nobody's trapped. And I'm going to follow the path of the first wire Let's see how that one does. That was just a really quick, simple repot this week, getting some starter trees out of their organic compost and into some proper bonsai substrate. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to me here on YouTube. And until next time, bye.